Zent are down. Just you and me now, Stone Lord. So if you mean to take my chair, you'll get no better chance than this.
Minsk has no interest in your furniture, Nine Fingers. Only in the wicked rump that fills it.
What?
You have been a stone in this city's boot for too long. And it will be no Stone Lord who reaches twixt Baldur and sticky toes to dislodge you. It will be Minsk!
I haven't got the slightest idea what he's trying to say.
Proof that he is back to normal, no?
A bizarre tale. But it fits this idiot, somehow. But if he's back to himself... Good. I'd rather you die as Minsk, the mad Rashimar. It's silly, but... Do you know? You were something of a hero of mine when I was young.
Even now, your tongue twists the truth. When you were young and ten-fingered still, Minsk and Boo were stone, instatuated on a city square.
Aye. I remember the spot. By a garden on the Wide. A soft thicket near the market, with ample pockets to pick. Celestia itself to a street rat looking for shelter. You might not have been wrestling monsters, but you kept the wind and the rain off. Heroic enough for me.
Bah! You tried to dampen Boo's eyes. Do not think you will be spared his teeth. Evil is evil, even if it was once innocent.
Oh, I'm no innocent. But evil? Well, you tell me. With the Fist, the Watch, and the Council itself all licking the Absolute's boots, who's the only one left standing to protect Baldur's Gate?
She's right, Minsk. She's been an ally down through the years. A friend, even.
A friend? Jahira, Boo cannot believe his ears. Has the city fallen so far in our absence? Are there no heroes left?
Heroes come and go. But the Guild has always been here, protecting the city. Until the Stone Lord came to break us.
I am shamed. Nadeshka. Unworthy to fight alongside my friends. Boo, what am I to do?
I can't speak for your rodent, but I know something of debts. If you reckon you've got one to repay, well, we could always work together.
With you? Pfft. Minsk has no lust for gold. That he would shake grandmothers by their ankles, or set Boo nibbling at their purse strings.
I'm not talking about that. We've both got bigger enemies than one another. The city's enemies. And, Tyr's honest truth, you gave my guild the wake-up call it needed. We've grown complacent, lazy, too sure of our standing. We never would have needed the Zent if we'd had a fighting force of our own. Swords for the city when the Watch and the Fist fail us.
Like a berserker lodge of my homeland. No army or militia serving the local lords, but heroes working for the common good.
Heroes. Sure.
Very well. Minsk and Boo accept.
I'm sorry, you what?
Boo and I will be your berserker lodge, taking the ugly ways of your guild and beating them into a more virtuous shape.
That's not even slightly what I was saying. I wasn't asking.
You are right. I have proven myself unworthy. I cannot serve this city if I was so easily turned against it. If I do not know my own mind, perhaps I no longer know what is good. My friend, I am touched by your kind words. And now I must be equal to them. What say you, Boo? When the Absolute is slain, shall we join Nine Fingers Keen and show her the ways of goodness?
You did say he was your hero, Estelle. Maybe you'll learn something.
Oh, can't we just go back to killing one another instead? All right, fine. Let's leave this particular fight for when the actual war is won, shall we? With the Stone Lord off my back, I'll be able to bring my people out of hiding. Cobble together a force, so we're ready when you call on us. You have my thanks. Though, I'm still not actually sure you haven't made my life that little bit harder.
My friend, now we have settled the matter of the guild. I fear there is something I must tell you. You and Boo both. It may shock you both to know, but Minsk and this Stone Lord, they are one man. The same one man. And that same one man is Minsk. Please, my friend. Your noble tears will not make the confessing any easier. I wish to believe the Stone Lord's evil was the worm alone, attainting my thoughts with foul dung. But I see now, the dung was within Minsk all along. So I wonder, if Minsk can be a villain, and Nine Fingers a hero, must it be so with all creatures? Is there good and evil within us all? Boo calls this nonsense. Less thinking of bad thoughts, says he, and more breaking of bad bones. But still, I would hear what you have to say on the matter, my friend. Even though it led to evil ends? And even the true Jaheira is not always right. She sometimes pets Boo a little too roughly. Or denies him the breakfast broth so that I must dip him in the pot when she looks the other way.
I do not pet him too Wait. You do what?
I begin to wonder if good and evil is not a thing of knowing. If it is sometimes a thing that Minsk must decide for himself. Alone. Which is why I'm asking you. Of course. Of course! One look into his beady little eyes should be enough to tell Minsk there is pure and untainted goodness in this world. Oh, thank you, my friend. Kill the villains! Kill them all! Ah, I feel better. Minsk is ready to go and do some butt-kicking.
You have a cult to kill. What do you need from me to do it?
So, Gortash's parents sold him to a warlock. Why does that sound so familiar? I've got no interest in empathizing with the fuck. But maybe what he did to me was some kind of mirror of what happened to him. When you get fucked up, you fuck up right back.
Minsk is so amazing!
Copper for your thoughts?
The cub speaks.
I don't like getting caught between the Guild and the Zentarim. You always make enemies when you take sides in a struggle like that. And in this case, they're enemies we might not see coming until it's too late.
Hardly the noblest conflict we've encountered, but criminals will have their squabbles, even in the looming shadow of utter annihilation.
I'd be delighted.
Though, someone else will need to watch the cookpot, of course.
Wonderful.
Lead on, then.
My...
All's well, I hope? Aside from the obvious.
Let's talk. I think that unknowable powers... I can't say I'm not curious. All right, what else is on your mind?
Neither the Zentarim or the Guild are capable of running this city as they should. Once we have conquered the Absolute, perhaps we can turn our attention to dissolving the criminal elements of Baldur's Gate and replacing them with our own candidates.
A welcome face. Eager for battle.
Let's get going.
I will fight alongside Minsk. But if he so much as refers to my butt, let alone attempts to kick it, I will skewer that damned hamster of his. You wish to consult me?
Boo seems like a worthy addition to our group. His pet, Minsk, may prove useful also.
Let's talk.
Minsk seems quite the, enthusiastic ally. Would all do well to remain on his good side. And out of the range of his fists.
So, we can add one bald wall of muscle to our little group. I'm sure he'll come in handy. Maybe as a doorstop.
So, I've got no... When you get fucked...
Minsk just joined our team. This is the best day of my life.
On Kresh Kalir, giant space hamsters are a staple food. Their hocks are quite scrumptious, if a bit fatty. Very. But I've never heard of a miniature version, let alone a conversant one. Which means Boo is either a rare specimen, or an ordinary hamster. On Kresh Kalir, giant space hamsters are a staple food. Their hocks are quite scrumptious, if a bit fatty. And addle his brain even further? Oh, I wouldn't dream of it. Besides, I've never heard of a miniature version, let alone a conversant one. Which means Boo is either a
On Kresh Kalir, giant space hamsters are a staple food. Their hocks are quite... It's a long way to Kalir. As for Boo, I've never heard of a miniature giant space hamster, let alone a conversant one. Which means Boo is either a...
You have my attention.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Stormshore Tabernacle.
Mistra's likeness. It's been some time since I stood before her in a place like this.
I'm sure you'll understand if I remain unbowed.
There she stands, just as Elminster promised. Mistra, goddess of the weave, mother of all magic.
The old man wasn't lying. She's opened the summoning channel. Can't you feel it?
Gale's right. The very air around the statue crackles with magic. It sets your teeth on edge.
A stream of pure, undiluted weave. I only have to reach out, and it will carry me to Mistra, wherever she may be.
The first step is difficult, of course. Minsk could throw you in, if you prefer.
Time was, I'd have given my right arm for a chance to speak with Mistra again. The left one, too. Maybe a knee. Not the message one hopes to receive from a past lover. But her first love was always the weave. At best, I was a close second. When I pictured this moment, I thought I'd feel more in control. Yet, here I am, with palms sweatier than a bugbear's armpit. I always wonder what being nervous would feel like. I hate it. During my time locked away in Waterdeep, I prepared a quite comprehensive speech for her on the subject of our former relationship and the manner in which it ended. Alas, recent events have rendered the majority of it moot, so I'm gonna have to improvise. Unless you have any words of wisdom to impart before I go. The summoning channel Mystra has provided is one only I can enter. No matter how much I prefer not to face her alone. You'd make a fine three-dragon anti-player, you know? I think it's best I keep a cool head going into this. Approach it like a particularly high-risk round of three-dragon ante. I'll let Mistress show her flight, and then I can see how strong a chance we stand of winning the gambit. I'll only be gone for a matter of moments. The Outer Planes experience time quite differently to our own. Wait for me. Please.
Gale of Waterdeep. You look well.
As do you. But I assume we're not here solely to exchange compliments. So why am I here?
You discovered what lies at the heart of the Absolute, the crown of Karsus. And you disobeyed my instruction. Why?
Because you had no right to ask that of me. You cast me out. Remember?
You were my lover, my chosen. Yet still you know so little of me. The past cannot be undone with self-pity, nor can a future be forged. Only with the truth will you see the way ahead. The fragment of magic you tried to return to me was not of my creation. It was the Karsite weave. It is a corrupted, half-born magic, wrought in the brief moment Karsus ascended to godhood. It hungers for power, just as he did, and it can never be sated. You unleashed something that would consume all magic in existence, and yet you thought only of preserving yourself.
So that's what you're scared of. With the crown of Karsus reforged, I could take control of the Karsite weave.
You can no more control the Karsite weave than a weather vane could control a storm. That it entered your body and consumed no more than your powers was a miracle. But we will not be granted another. The only reason the orb sleeps is because I have allowed it to feed on the true weave. A temporary measure, but one that will not be enough to save us. With each day that passes, the Elder Brain threatens to become a new kind of god. Its worshippers, a scourge of soulless illithids. If you will not use the orb to end this abomination, then you must find a way to separate crown and host. When you've done this, you must surrender the crown of Karsus to me.
A great ask indeed. You've given me much to think on. As you always did.
So be it. Follow the needle of your own wisdom. We shall see how truly it leads you.
mortal soil once more. I can't believe I saw her. After all this time. And what you felt was but the slightest drop, drawn from the rushing torrent that is the weave. I confess, now my former prowess, even I struggle to stand her presence. The effects on the mortal body of such unfettered magical exposure cannot be overestimated. She held back in order to protect us, to make sure I heard her. The Karsite weave, within me this whole time. I knew the orb was no ordinary ball of magic before it to be Karsus's malignant creation. Gods! How did I not see that? But I should have known. What right had I to go about declaring myself an archmage? At least now I'm armed with the truth. It sounds like the door to redemption is open at last. All I have to do is walk through it, carrying the crown of Karsus. Thank you. There aren't many I'd trust to stand beside me on such a journey. If I could promise you one thing in return for your faith in me, it's this. I will not let you down. Now, I believe we've a date with an Elder Brain to get to.
Greetings, child of fate. You have come far, I perceive. How may I serve you this? Of course, my child. Within limits. Behold my wares.
I do not trust Mystra to do right with the crown. But I think I trust Gale even less. He must give it to her when the time comes, or his lust for power might well consume him.
Do you feel it, Boo? The path of virtue beneath my boots once more. Boo and I, we are in your debt, my friend. What? Minsk has the itch that only a butt... Justice walks on 4 feet and sleeps in my boot.
Blackets will be done.
Justice walks on 4 feet and sleeps in my boot.
He's a man of the people, too. Promised at least 100...
What do I think of Lord Gortash's still watch? Well, I am so glad you asked.
Minsk has never trusted places such as this. Much of a wizard's power can be simply packaged and picked up. Well, picked up by all but Minsk. When he touches the many delicate little jars, oh, how the wizards shout and stare.
Fear not, Minsk. You have a wizard at your side who positively encourages such curiosity. You'll fit right in.
Welcome back, valued customer. And these things have stayed interesting.
You in need of... Don't be shy. This armor can't keep you alive if it's sitting here with me.
Will be done.
You in need? Don't be shy. This armor can't keep you alive if it's sitting here with me.
Still alive, so that's progress.
Need something for defense? Or maybe offense? Either way, I've got what you need.
keep going until it does work. They'll give in soon enough once they're conquered.
Louder than foxes, and all through the night.
7, 8. Excuse me, sir. Could you spare a little gold? What are they putting their money for?
Sleep with one eye open.
They crave blood.
No one back home will let me eat this.
I would smite.
Ah, excellent choice.
My name is Constable, can move on like call me Bree. Nothing more valuable.
Maybe I will.
All right,
Or
what now?
maybe I won't. I do not feel like a valued client.
That might be worth a look.
Prayers weren't much bloody use.
Why, you? What in shitting shadows have you come back for?
You have been the subject of many wrinkled brows between my hamster and I, Sir Bankerbeard. On the one hand, you are clearly evil and deserving of a mouthful of righteous knuckle. But, on the other hand, the one in which Boo sits and pleads your case. At the time of our last meeting, Minsk was the evil one. So, we are not agreed on whether we will return here and feed you to a mimic yet.
I see. Well, by all means, keep me up to date. Oh, you're serious?
These large numbers, they wrinkle Minsk's brow and bring a soreness to his skull. Make them smaller, please.
hamster, but look, I can't. The losses. Fine. I'll pull in some debts with other guild, but I need something back. Understand? And not even a whisker light. Me too, I suppose. Because I'm not even tempted to scam you. What the hell's... Some funny money in the end, anyway. Just breathe. Breathe. And switch bloody jobs.
So Minsk has turned to the Absolute. Maybe there's something to this cult.
Ledgers are never going to balance. I'm a dead man.
This city reeks of evil. Or perhaps Boo just needs to bathe.
Assume nothing.
No one's stopped me yet.
Enough waiting. I crave blood.
Never a dull moment.
Which way to the nearest library?
Still breathing.